Welcome to Oddball. Happy Final Four week, or 2 weeks, depending how long this lasts. I'm Amino Hassan. That's Izzy Gutierrez. And Izzy, the Final Four is set. The conference finals matchups are a go. It's Knicks versus Pacers in the East, Timberwolves versus Thunder in the West. No matter what happens, we're going to have a team win their first title since the ABA-NBA merger, which, as you know, that's where history begins for me. Everything before that, put it in a box. We salute it, but it doesn't count the same as the ones since the best players got to play all in the same league.
Get out of here, Celtics.
Before we get, exactly. The Celtics have won 5 titles? 5 titles by my count. Yep. Before we get into team matchups, which of the 4 guys shown here of these 4 stars who will all be in the running to win their first title, which one do you want to see win their first title this season?
That's an interesting question, because if you go by like NBA history, the guy who is most suited to do it, right? He's been on the team that went far, had expectations, had a great regular season, probably announced this thing already, won the MVP. It should be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but I feel like the people want to see either Jalen Brunson or Anthony Edwards. Maybe not Anthony Edwards, because he's still got a little bit more time to come, and Jalen Brunson is, 28, a little older, in the city, the Mecca that probably wants the championship more than the others. I think Jalen gets I want him to win the championship more than the others now, but I think traditional NBA, it's SGA.
Well, I mean, we asked you. We didn't ask traditional NBA.
So me. Oh, yeah, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is my answer.
So this is how I look at it. I love Jalen Brunson's story because rags to riches, underdog, overcome all that he overcame, beat all the odds, and then also comes in a package that people don't necessarily look at as daunting, right? Is some of the Steph Curry stuff there where people were underestimating him because of his size and his relative lack of athleticism. So I think that's a great story. Anthony Edwards, the charisma. This guy's just fun. He's a good dude, and he's a great leader, and he's got a chance to be the face of the NBA. So that's an argument for him. Tyrese Halliburton, I call him the last hope. He plays the point guard position like it was played once upon a time. I'm hoping that he can inspire a new generation of young players to play that way. So there's a great story there as well. But man, I like being right. And I said the Thunder are going to win all year long. I need SGA to get his first title simply so I can maintain my rightness.
I would, be great for him. It'd be great for Oklahoma City, obviously, with KD leaving. Be great for you. Everybody wants to be right. I don't think it'd be great for the NBA. I don't think it'd be great for the offseason going into next season, but hey, we'll see.
All right. Well, let's start talking about these individual matchups more detailed wise. Let's start in the East. Got Knicks versus Pacers. They're going to meet in the playoffs for the second time in a row. They met 6 times between 93 and 2000 back in the heyday. Yep. That's my wheelhouse.
So much hate.
Neither of these teams were supposed to be here, right? We didn't expect the Celtics to lose the way they did. We didn't expect the Cavs to lose the way they did. So, Izzy, let's get all the out of the way and just get right to it. Which team are you picking to win the series?
The basketball brain in me, which some people think is really small, says it's going to be the Pacers. I think their style of play is just, you can duplicate it more often. You can do it against good defense. And really, the Knicks, have they played great defense? Maybe not. I think, at the point guard matchup, Tyrese Halliburton really gives Jalen Brunson a lot of work. Now, I'm not saying he's going to, guard him one-on-one the entire time, but he gives him a lot of work. Will he have the same energy to really basically put the team on his shoulders in the fourth quarter? I don't know. I think the depth of Indiana wins the series, and I think their ability to score in bunches will really frustrate the Knicks, because they're going to have some moments where their offense is just, stalling out.
This is what I'm going to do. For those of you aspiring broadcasters at home, take notes, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to loudly say, of course the Knicks are going to win. And I'm going to pull out my Knicks bona fides, these jerseys out here. I'm going to be rocking these on Le Batard shows. I'm like, yeah, the Knicks got this in the bag. But secretly, I agree with everything you said, Izzy. Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith are really good defensively. Benedict Mathurin's really good defensively. Pascal Siakam is really good defensively. Miles Turner is great defensively, and he can step out and pick and pop and hit threes and stuff. I think the Pacers are deeper. I think the Pacers are tougher. I think Rick Carlisle's a better coach. I think the Pacers are going to win. Go Knicks, baby!
Let's keep it here.
Okay.
Let's keep it here.
All right.
Do you think Karl Anthony Towns is going to get better as the playoffs go deeper or get worse?
I think absolutely he's going to crack. And he's going to crack because the Pacers are the type of team that irritates people, gets under their skin, and they execute and they do things right. But Knicks, baby.
Let's go Knicks, baby.
Knicks is 6, baby. Let it be known right here. I picked the Knicks to win and go to the NBA Finals. How about that?
Okay. Well, let's get back here for a second. Mikal Bridges, like the 5 first-round pick thing. Are they over it now? Does he need to give them a series, or can we?
He'll never be over it. The moment he starts up again, they're going to turn on him and they're going to mention 5 first-round picks for this shit. Is this why we can't get Giannis? Believe me, that's all going to get started as soon as he starts messing up again. But yo, the Knicks, man, Wingstop, baby, Wingstop, baby, Bridges and OG on the wings. Ooh, they're going to have them bottled up. You heard it here first.
All right, I got you. I need you here one more time, real quick. Josh Hart, bloody face Josh Hart, triple-double Josh Hart. A lot of people he might need to defend. Are the Pacers just too much for even Josh Hart to have this type of impact? Will he get lost in the sauce?
I think he's going to get cooked by Halliburton if they try to put him on that. So I think he'll probably be on Siakam. This is the part where I'm a little unsure. I know this is kind of going against the Whisper Boys here, but yeah, Siakam, is he going to be aggressive enough to take advantage of that size disadvantage?
No, speak up when you say that, because that leads you right into it.
Yeah, Siakam. Let's go, Knicks. Siakam ain't gonna be able to handle Josh Hart, baby. Let's go, 33rd and 7th Avenue. Let's go, hot dogs, pizza.
Or past can't.
Yeah. Anyway, these two teams have a history, as we mentioned back in the year 2000. They played against each other. These are the starting lineups. By the way, Rick Brunson was on the bench for that Knicks team. That's
wow.
Assistant coach Rick Brunson, also dad Rick Brunson.
What a squad. What a couple of squads these were, man. Those were the times. It's
crazy that I think, wow, I know more Pacers than I do Knicks. I would have never, if I get 25 years ago, 25 years in the future, you're going to really know Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson and Jalen Rose and
Latrell Sprewell and Patrick Ewing don't come across as the most friendly player, at least when they play. So, yeah, I wasn't going to predict being friends with New York Knicks down the road.
I'm just saying, I don't know any of these guys. I know Allen Houston a little, the most Vegas know Allen Houston. But, the Pacers, other than Rick Smith, those are my boys, man. Antonio Davis and Jalen Rose.
What is Latrell Sprewell doing? Oh, wait.
I have no idea. I didn't know he was alive. Sure. Oh, well, okay. We didn't have to go that way. Look, our producer, Hank, is young. As a matter of fact, when this game took place, he was not yet born.
Oh, my goodness.
He was asking us when the great Pacers dynasty happened. And then asked, did the Knicks win any during this time? And I realized when you say that, the Knicks won 2 in the 70s, for someone like Hank, it's like saying they won 2 in the 50s. It's just...
Doing bad. And this is the wild thing. I mean, if you just go through your Netflix interface and start doing searches, oh wow, they did a whole documentary about this Knicks Pacers series and the rivalry and Reggie Miller. Nobody won. Nobody won. It was just compelling basketball, and somebody did this, and then all of a sudden it's wow, this is amazing. And so I think it has all the makings of being even better.
Somebody did this because somebody else actually did this in the basketball.
Right.
Those are two tied things. But yeah, this is a long rivalry. It was reignited last year, and it's hot, man. I don't know if you saw this from the other night. After the Knicks beat the Celtics in Game 6, there's this guy wearing a Halliburton jersey, and he got trash dumped on his head.
What the Halliburton?
I just want to say this right now, Izzy. We here at Oddball do not condone violence. Do not physically interact with people. That's wrong. You should not do it. And those people who did that, who threw that trash at that guy, should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, now I can say the real part, which is that guy. He knew what he was doing. He was instigating, and he got what he deserved.
Yeah,
but violence is never the answer.
Never. And seriously, I would say, look, the only worst thing you could do at that point is wear a Reggie Miller Pacers jersey down the street. And I would say that those Knicks fans probably did him a favor. That looked like light trash. It looked like a bunch of paper and stuff. It wasn't heavy.
It wasn't that bad. And by the way, Tyree saw the video, and now the guy's getting flown out for Game 4 of the conference finals. And so, I'm just...
Oh, it was a long work is what it was.
Yeah, I don't like people being rewarded for being dumbasses. Let's be real. You knew what the was going to happen when you walked out in the middle of 7th Avenue. It's not like, I was at I was in Astoria, Queens, getting a hookah, and they attacked me. The dude
You
did
know
it
what?
right outside. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Karma
Stupid.
wise, this does not bode well for the Indiana Pacers. I might actually be willing to change my pick to the
What?
Knicks after this because
What are you
when
talking
you've
about?
got
The pick is Knicks and 6,
oh,
baby.
sorry, that was
Knicks
your
and
pick.
6.
Yeah. All right, you know what? I'm in Knicks and 6. I think this fan ruined it for
Yeah.
everybody. I think Tyrese Halliburton shouldn't have given him tickets to Game 4. I think it's a
No.
work, and you're getting caught.
Yeah. Speaking of getting caught, Trae Young, you're not slick. You're not slick at all. Him doing this little, hot take, but not. OKC fans a lot louder than Knicks fans. Happy Sunday. Get out of here, man. This, you know
I
what this
mean,
is?
yeah.
This is straight out of the LeBron playbook, which is they're talking about people, not me. I've got to make it about me. So just sit down and be like the rest of us, man. Just watch these games and like just enjoy. You don't have to weigh in with your dumbass opinions, man.
I love Trey, but he definitely comes across as the Batman villain who's just forcing himself into every episode or every movie here. I don't know which one that would be. Is it maybe Mr. Freeze?
No.
But
No. I'll tell you who he is. He's Scarecrow, right? He's Scarecrow. He was the villain, the main villain once upon a time. And then like they kind of defeated him pretty easily, I might add. And then he came back in like that third one and he was still trying to be relevant. But look, we all know Bane is the actual villain of that movie and not Scarecrow. You're Scarecrow. Tyrese Halliburton is Bane. I don't know who Ra's al Ghul's daughter would be.
I was just trying to get you to do a Mr. Freeze impression. So really, we don't have to add.
Your pleas have been your pleas are cold to me, or I can remember the line. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
I will also say I feel like Jalen Brunson has to take ownership of Bane because of his 3-pointer ate my face celebration. It kind of looks like a Bane mask.
You merely adopted being underrated. I was born in it. That's what he's saying to Tyrese Halliburton.
All right, so we've got another series. I don't know if you noticed. Minnesota Timberwolves playing in their second straight conference finals, which is a crazy sentence. They're taking on the OKC Thunder, who just beat the Denver Nuggets in 7 games. All right, Amin, I think I know your answer here, but tell me who you're picking.
Oh, I mean, come on, man. Like, I got the Thunder winning it all. I have to pick the Thunder. Now, I'm Tupac committed now, baby. I'm going to whisper it and I'm going to say it loud. Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win this series. They're going to win the NBA championship. They are the best team. I was having this conversation with Zach Harper the other day, and we were like musing. We were thinking about it. It's like, wait a second. Like, you know how like people praise like two-way players? Oh, they got this nice 3-and-D wing. Oh, this guy's a two-way player. Like, the Thunder roster is literally entirely two-way players. Every single guy on that team defends. Every single guy on that team is an offensive threat in one way or another. And so for them to have built an entire roster of this thing that's supposed to be like this hidden gem in the NBA, it's pretty remarkable. I look at them and I see no flaws. I see flaws when I see the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, Anthony Edwards is spectacular and he's fun to watch. And look, at this point, it feels kind of inevitable. He will win a championship one day, but that
you see no flaws, really. You don't. So what about their inability to deal with bigs, especially if they're hitting the offensive boards like crazy?
Yeah,
there was a couple of games in this series where it looked like the Nuggets were going to win that way.
Yeah, they had an inability to deal with bigs, so they only proved it by beating the best big in the league. They took him and they put him in a box, and they did it with a dude who's a little bit taller than I am. Like 3 inches taller.
Would that be different? Would that be different than dealing with Rudy Gobert because he is not the focal point of your defense? He's just somebody you have to worry about after the ball is in the air.
You know what? You know what the Thunder are saying? I wish they would. I wish they would, man. No, I don't think that's it. Now, Randall might be different. Randall's one that I think can give them problems because of his incredible strength. Right. And so that's the kind of thing. And by the way, his strength with momentum, because the thing with Jokic, who is also strong, but catches stationary, right? Mm-hmm. And then backs in. Randall's coming downhill. And Alex Caruso, I love you, but you don't want to take that kind of abuse. That's a lot.
That's the problem that I see with Randall, though, is he is very much like bull in a china shop. Yep. And OKC is a very fancy china shop. Like their defense will get their hands on everything. And so he's probably going to, barrel himself into 4 or 5 turnovers a game, which doesn't bode well.
Yeah. And the other part of that, I would say if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm going to Isaiah Hartenstein and say, look, you were on the team with this dude for 2 years. You practice with him. You know his tendencies. I mean, I feel like we all know his tendencies at this point, but you know him better than most. So I would put Hartenstein on him. I would put Chet on Rudy, and then we'll take it from there.
And this is where, to me, SGA just sort of unleashes himself, I guess, because we were waiting for it in the first 2 rounds. We got it in pockets, very important pockets, I would add. But having gotten over the Nuggets, having gotten over that champion and your fellow MVP candidate, and I still don't understand why they didn't give away that award already. But you do that, and like all the doubts are gone. Like we talk, maybe they need to prove themselves a little bit more. I think for SGA, as far as he's concerned, he's proven everything he's need to prove now that he beat Denver. And so you're probably going to look at a little bit of even an uptick in, if the Timberwolves allow it, in shot attempts for him and probably points as a result.
You know, it's funny. I heard someone ask SGA about this the other night. He's playing against his cousin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, right? The Alexander there, they are first cousins though, right? Like, and he talked about, we grew up together. We started playing basketball together. We like became hot prospects together. We got to the NBA together. So it's this weird kind of like parallel path with a family member, which is cool. But also it's cool when you're the family member who's going to win MVP and he's the one who's coming off the bench. So it's kind of like, just remember.
I do got a question for you though, in regard to SGA, because I think everybody will tell you, obviously he's the better player between him and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
However, what we've seen from Anthony Edwards this year is the willingness to take all those threes. And now we've seen in the postseason how overwhelming it can be if he's making some of those, because you can't even put a hand up on it. Is it possible that with one amazing series, Anthony Edwards leapfrogs SGA, and then next year we're talking about Anthony Edwards in MVP discussions, not just All-Star?
1,000%, man. We are prisoners of the playoff moment. When you're big time in the playoff, look, the Pacers have won like 90 some odd games in the last 2 years in the regular season, 95 or something like that. But we're going to walk away thinking about Tyrese Halliburton in a completely different light, because now he's 2-time Final Four appearance, 2-time conference finals.
You keep saying Final Four. I'm pretty sure we get sued every time we say that.
Okay, sorry. Final cuatro, right? Like, but yeah, so absolutely, if Anthony Edwards has a spectacular series and the Timberwolves win, absolutely, you're going to hear a bunch of, this is the best player in the NBA. He's better than SGA. And this guy's a dog and all that stuff. And by the way, he should be. That's the crazy thing about this. This is why I go back to all the time. Like, let's not pretend like the MVP is head and shoulders above everyone else. Sometimes it is. Sometimes that dude is just, when Steph Curry won that thing unanimously, yeah, like he was head and shoulders above everyone else that season. But the reality is, in any given year, there are like 5 to 7 guys that are all like, yo, I would start a franchise with any of these guys. And Anthony Edwards is definitely on that list.
Here's a couple other guys that we had temporary short-term questions about. Jalen Williams. And I would say we as a basketball community, you as the king of the OKC Thunder Castle, I don't think you have to worry about it. But did those two sort of rebound, I guess Chet with the missed free throws and I guess getting pushed around a little bit, and J-Dub with some pretty poor shooting games there, did they sort of fix their images, or did they sort of repair their confidence going into these conference finals?
J-Dub for sure. Like, he had a great game. And when we talk about that second quarter with all those turnovers they forced, he was front and center for a lot of that stuff. Defensively, he was incredible. Offensively, he was good enough. He wasn't spectacular. He didn't make his threes, but he got to the rim, he finished, and he generated enough offense, I think, through his assists for us to feel good. Chet, I thought Chet was solid. I'm going to be interested to see how he can make Minnesota pay. Like, Naz Reid is not an easy matchup for him, because Naz is a better shooter and also bigger and stronger and can put it on the floor a little bit. So Chet's going to have his work cut out for him. But I think Jalen Williams feels vindicated after Game 7.
You know who, not feeling vindicated, who never feels vindicated when he puts down a bet, is your boy Drake. I don't know why he's your boy. He used to be my boy.
That's your boy,
He used to be my boy, and then Kendrick ruined it. So he, of course, he put down a bet, right, for the Maple Leafs, who lost to the Florida Panthers. Of course, he's going to put down a bet for anybody Canadian. So you know he's going to be on Team SGA for this series. Is that a nightmare situation? Is that the ultimate curse for Oklahoma City Thunder?
You know what I'm doing if I'm SGA? I'm calling up Drake and be like, Nickeil's Canadian too. Why don't you bet on him? Why you betting on me? Damn it, man.
Oh, man. All right, coming up next. Is it too late now to say sorry? I was supposed to sing that in Justin Bieber voice. I will not do that.
Welcome back to Oddball. Izzy, you really upset a lot of people on the internet about that whole Cleveland take you had when they got eliminated.
Yeah, I guess I was a little too hot there. I just went in on Kenny Atkinson. I went on Darius Garland and a couple other guys. I didn't really feel great about it.
I mean, do you feel like you went a little too far?
I did. In fact, I went so far that I thought I should go even further on the apology. And I went on an entire apology tour, if you want to check it out.
Oh, I just see it.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. I know you have a lot of better things to do than come out and listen to me give an apology, but you know, an apology tour doesn't really work without you. So give yourselves a round of applause there. Yeah. While you're at it. Let's go. Come on. While you're at it, let's keep it going. For my guy, Kenny Atkinson. Yeah, Kenny. I might have gone a little too hard on you the other day.
Hey, yo.
You didn't deserve all that heat, man. I'm sorry. It's not your fault your team couldn't play through injuries very well. Certainly not your fault that Max Strus and Darius Garland decided to miss all the shots.
All of them.
I hear there's an Ed Garland in the crowd. No?
I got that joke.
Kenny, I know you're out there working hard toward next year, okay? Because let's be honest, it was still embarrassing the way you went out. But I hope you have this on in the background, and I hope you can really feel this apology, man. And if you ever need to win another big game, and I think there's a decent chance you'll probably win one, just know that officially, you got to pass on the first choke job, okay?
Hey,
I'm sorry that happened to you, okay? Okay, I'm sure that apology was accepted especially well. So let's move on to Donovan Mitchell! My man, I am so sorry you had to take 68 more shots and 51 more free throws than anyone else on your team in that 5-game series. That's a lot of work. I'm sorry that Max Strus was second in shot attempts on your team, and combined, you guys shot 41% from the floor and 29% from three. I am so sorry that happened to you, man.
Not his fault.
I could do a whole country song about how sad that was. I'd probably call it Hard for Andrew Nemhard.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure the next time you're in a big game or in a big series, this won't happen to you again. I'm sure it'll never happen to you again, Don.
I'm not sure about this.
Speaking of country music, let me toss an apology out to my boy, Jimmy Butler.
Buckets.
That's right. I criticized him for not having any Batman left in him. Then I pictured Jimmy sitting on one of those like padded donut things, you know, to protect his injured ass, sort of watching himself talk to an oversized cracker in one of those commercials that he's in, and wondering when his life took a cheesy left turn. And that's when I figured he can catch one of these apologies also. So Jimmy, I'm sorry those commercials are running throughout the playoffs, reminding everyone that the fairy tale 7 seed didn't actually work out and that you choked in the playoffs. I'm sorry about that, Jimmy. Sorry. All right, I got a couple of quick ones. Thank you. Couple quick ones. Michael Porter Jr. I'm pretty sure someone out there said MPJ went MIA against SGA and OKC, and sure, that's worth an LOL, but TBH, he should have been at the MP.
Wow, that was good.
So here's where the apology comes in. MPJ, I'm sorry that most of your shooting powers come from your left shoulder, and we didn't realize it. I'm sorry. We didn't realize it, because you clearly can't shoot with that pad on your left shoulder. And lastly, this one's been a long time coming, all right? I really want to give a shout out and apology to Al Horford.
Tito's son?
It's not just that he was the better Dominican in the battle between him and Karl Anthony Towns, okay? It's not just that. But we did a thing a little while ago with a sculptor, and the punchline was literally, F you, Al Horford. And that was probably a bit much.
Yeah,
On behalf of Akbar Domestique,
wait, why is he apologizing?
I would like to apologize to you, Al Horford.
There's no apology there.
Sounds like you all felt that one. Okay, that's all the time I have for tonight, folks. Please, don't worry. Maybe next time you'll hear an apology for Jason Tatum. Maybe Jalen Brunson will get one. But you'll just have to come back and find out. Oh, actually, wait. One last apology on the way out. If you don't think I deserve to have a strong sports opinion, I'm sorry that you don't know shit about anything. Good night, everybody.
I'm beginning to think that wasn't an apology.